Oh my God, you guys, I was like doom scrolling through new research papers last night and I found one that is going to like totally change everything we think about AI. No, I'm serious, this is like a major deal. Okay, let's get into it. We're talking about a complete and total glow up for how AI even works.
But first, I have to ask you something. Have you ever thought that maybe, just maybe, the AIs we use are like secretly super inefficient? I mean, they seem so smart, right? But what if they're like working way harder than they have to? Well, spoiler, they totally are.
And the whole problem, like the entire issue, is their memory, which honestly is kind of dumb right now.
So here's the tea. Large language models are like geniuses at thinking and reasoning, but when it comes to just remembering simple facts, they have like the worst memory ever. Every single time they see a common name or a fact, they have to use their giant superbrain to figure it out all over again from scratch. It's like using a quantum computer to remember your name. It's so extra.
Okay, so check this out. This slide proves it. The paper shows how much work the AI has to do just to get the phrase, Diana, Princess of Wales. It takes like 6 whole layers of thinking. It starts with just Wales, the country. Then it figures out Princess of Wales is like a title. And it's not until the 6th layer that it finally gets to the actual person, Diana.
All that thinking, all that compute, it's just like so much work for something so simple. There has to be a better way, right?
And there is. This is like the best part. The paper talks about this new thing called Ngram, and you guys, it is an absolute game changer, like a total architecture glow-up.
So the whole vibe is called conditional memory. Instead of making the AI's main thinking brain do everything, the thinking and the remembering, you give it a whole separate memory brain. This other brain isn't for deep thoughts or whatever. It's just a giant, super fast Rolodex for facts. It doesn't think, it just looks stuff up really fast.
And this is exactly how it works. It's basically a new, super cool version of this old school thing called Ngrams. So first, the model sees a phrase, like Alexander the Great. Then it does this thing called hashing, which is like turning it into a secret code. It uses that code to instantly look up everything it knows in its giant memory bank. And then it just mixes that memory in with whatever the main brain was already thinking about. So simple.
Okay, but this brings up a whole new problem. If you have a thinking brain and a memory brain, how do you make sure the vibes are perfect? You have to find the right balance. The researchers called this the sparsity allocation problem, which is just a super technical way of asking, what's the perfect mix? How much of the AI should be for the thinking part, that's the MOE, and how much should be for this new memory part, the Ngram?
So they totally tested it, and the results are fascinating. It turns out that a hybrid model with a good mix of both works the best. You can totally see it on this chart. The validation loss, which you want to be as low as possible, is lowest for the hybrid one in the middle. If you have too much thinking or too much memory, it actually gets worse. It's all about that perfect balance.
So, the main point is this. A pure thinking model is just inefficient. It's always relearning stuff. But the Ngram hybrid, it's like the perfect vibe. It lets the memory brain do the boring stuff, which frees up the main brain to actually think.
Okay, but you guys, this is where this story gets actually wild. You'd think that adding a memory thing would just make the AI better at memorizing stuff, right? But what actually happened was so much crazier.
So they tested it on this thing called Big Bench Hard, which is a test for super hard thinking problems. The AI with the Ngram memory scored 5 points higher. It got better at pure reasoning.
Then they tested its coding skills on a human eval. It got 3 points better. It was literally a better coder just because it had a better memory.
And on the math test, for math problems, it went up 2.4 points. Again, this isn't about remembering formulas, it's about actually solving new math problems.
So let's just pause for a sec. Adding a thingy for memorizing facts made the AI better at reasoning and coding and math. What? How does that even happen?
I know, right? I was so confused, but the researchers figured it out, and the reason is actually genius. It goes way deeper than just remembering stuff. Okay, so don't get freaked out by this heat map. What it's basically showing is that the new AI's early layers, like layer 5, are already as smart as the deep layers, like layer 12, of the normal AI. Ngram is basically like a fast pass for knowledge. It lets the AI skip the line.
The paper literally says it. Ngram is functionally equivalent to increasing the model's effective depth, which is just fancy science talk for saying it makes the whole AI model deeper and more powerful without actually adding more layers.
Okay, think of it like this.
Ngram is like that friend who makes like perfect flashcards for every single fact before the final exam. Since it does all that boring memorizing for you, the rest of your brain can like skip cramming and just focus on actually understanding the hard stuff so you can like ace the test.
So, what does this all mean? It like totally changes how we build AIs. It means that having a good memory is just as important as having like a fast computer brain.
And here's the most insane part. You can add a memory module with 100 billion parameters. That's like so many, and the extra processing time is less than 3%. That's like nothing. You can make the AI way smarter and like way more knowledgeable, and it barely even slows it down.
So the huge question this whole thing leaves us with is, like, what's next? If you can give an AI a perfect instant memory for like everything in the entire world, what will it even spend its time thinking about? Like if an AI has a perfect memory, what does it daydream about?